Hey y'all, TGIF, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great Friday and looking forward to the weekend. I definitely always look forward to the weekend to get extra things done around the house, but I'm definitely a homebody, so I don't really be doing much. While y'all are here, go ahead and show your girl some love by liking the video and hitting subscribe if you are feeling the vibe. Those interested in my personal channel, I did just upload remote work for Fridays, non-phone Fridays. So if you're new, that just means these are positions that are non-incoming call / non-call center positions. So those are every Friday, and then on Mondays and Wednesdays I post remote jobs. So altogether that's 13 remote jobs I post a week. People are getting hired, they're inboxing me and letting me know. So if you are looking for remote work or you know someone looking for remote work, definitely check out my personal channel. Plus I have a lot of other things on there as far as like life after divorce, story time updates, things like that. So definitely feel free to check out my personal channel if that's something you're interested in. I will link that in the comments below. Now today's video is going to be about, good old stripper diaries slash story time slash tips slash miscellaneous things in regards to the nightlife. Y'all know I love these videos because I also like to talk about the safety measures in regards to it. So without further ado, I'm going to let y'all watch the content creators and then we're just going to do a short commentary at the end.
Honestly, coming from a background of nightlife, like I know the nightlife very well. I've been able to have my eyes opened also in the club, where my last experience in nightlife was a conversation with a demon. Okay, and this was like over a year ago, and I didn't even understand the spiritual realm like I do now. But I literally saw demons in the club. Spirits are an open door. Why do you think they call it spirits? Drunkenness is an open door to spirits. I mean, not the spirits that love you. I'm talking spirits that hate you, want to destroy you, and ruin your life.
I don't know what y'all got going on there in Atlanta, but an Atlanta-based stripper infected with by her boyfriend, who was an influencer and an Atlanta-based baller who was also a frequent strip club goer, gets revenge on him and other men in an absolutely diabolical way. Check this out.
I remember that house mom knew him personally, and she was like, I know him, he would never do so and so, like blah blah blah. He doesn't have that. And I was like, okay. And so after I saw how they kind of reacted, it kind of just made me back away, and it blew up into this whole thing to where I just stopped working in dreams. And then that's when I found my other home club and started dancing in other clubs in Atlanta.
So you continued dancing after. And how do you think that was because you were trying to heal something within you?
Oh yeah, I hated men. After I was diagnosed, I was like, this man gave me, I'm gonna use every man that I can use to get their money, whatever I can get out of them. Like, I did not care about my life, my safety. Because at this point I had HIV, I was like, what else can happen to me? Like, that's how I was thinking. And
crazy work. So you get infected by one man, but you choose to take it out on all the other men you encounter. That is crazy work. Now, I don't know the protocol or how strip clubs, test their dancers for STDs, but that needs to be studied. Now, y'all know my slogan: sharing is caring and prevention is the mission. Hop down in the comments. Let's talk about this.
I remember sitting in my car crying my last day working as an exotic dancer. And I was telling myself, this is not how my story is gonna end. Because I would remember every time I went in there, it was just dark. The darkness. Not just the ambiance of the room, but how it felt being there. Full of women, not an empowering space of women, full of women, full of competition, they don't want you to take their person, or just things like that. It was just a negative place, and I'm like, I can't do this my whole life. I know that I'm struggling. I know that I need help. And I know that I can't pay my rent this month. And I know that opportunities are not coming to me at all, even as hard as I try. But I can't keep doing this anymore. It got to a point where even the customers in the club were like, girl, this is not you anymore. What are you doing here, sis? What are you doing here, babe? You need to leave. Because my spirit was not for that place. And a lot of us when we're in uncomfortable situations, we think that we have to do things that are unmoral just to get by. And I'm telling you, if you just trust God, He will make things work for you. God has something better for you. And people would even tell me, like, Tamara, why would you share that? Why would you tell people you're an exotic dancer? But the thing is, after I called on God and He saved me from that situation when I didn't know where to turn, when nobody could save me, but God did. And now He's telling me, because I prayed to Him over and over again, God, what do you want me to do for you? What is my calling for you? Because I'm here to live for you. And when He told me clearly, this is my calling, I want you to use your story and what you've been through to help other women leave that dark place. Leave the place that you went. You know how it is. You know that I have a plan for every one of your brothers and sisters. And you know that this is not the place that they should be. So if God wanted me to use my story to help other people, then I'm going to do whatever it takes for Him. Yes, it feels uncomfortable. Yes, I do get judged. A lot of people close to me judge me, telling me, oh, you're never going to get married because of your lifestyle. You won't get a good job because people look at that. And that haunts me sometimes, but you have to trust God. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm faithfully walking this out because He saved me from this. And I want to help any woman who feels the same way to leave. This place is not you. And the transition outside of that lifestyle, it's difficult getting out of that lifestyle because that is the easy road. And a lot of us like to take the easy road, but not knowing that the easy road is going to be hard. But if you take the hard road, then later it's going to be easy. So I want y'all to understand that it may seem easy right now. It may seem like, okay, I'm about to stack up real quick. I'm about to get that money real quick. It's not a big deal. Maybe another year in there, and then I'm going to leave. I'm telling you, the baggage that being in that industry comes with it's not worth an extra 6 months. It's not even worth an extra month. This lifestyle will screw with your mindset around money, your mindset around relationships, become transactional, with you not even wanting it to be. That's why you really have to seek God, because God is the God of miracles. He's the one that could turn you all the way around. He's the one that could switch your whole situation and make you a Proverbs 31 woman. God can, and only God can. In Jesus' name.
So I'm going to talk about the drawbacks of being a stripper. Everyone likes to talk about the fun parts, and I will get to the fun parts, but there's a lot of drawbacks too. So you attract a lot of scumbag people, like pimps. You'll attract people that's trying to rob you, etc., etc., etc. You also have trouble with your family because not everyone's going to accept that as an occupation. Your parents might not like it, your sister, your uncle, whoever. So they might end up either shunning you, ignore, or just act like you don't exist, which is shunning. Or people would just talk behind your back and then you won't hear from them. Another thing is trouble with relationships. Now, granted, not all strippers have troubles with relationships, but a lot do because of the work that they do. Like, you're being naked in front of guys you don't know, or you're just dancing topless, or you're having a top on. Not a lot of men don't want to deal with that. So it creates a lot of turmoil in a relationship you're already in, or one that you could have.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions about life is that stripping is easy or that anybody can be a stripper. And I say that because, like, anytime I'm like, dang, man, like, I need to make some more money, I just need to pick up an extra shift, like bartending or whatever. My sister's like, oh, well, like, you know, if all else fails, you can be a stripper. But I'm like, not all strippers make money or make good money. And she's never been to a strip club before, but if you have been to strip clubs, you know the type of, like, the women that get up there and, like, nobody throws anything, or, like, they throw, like, $1 or two, and you still have to dance your song. You can't just, like, leave mid-song if people aren't feeling it, or whatever. And, like, typically, it's, like, you're like a filler between somebody who just did, like, great, who just got, like, boom, 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 like, they're just throwing her money, and then you come out there because you're like, oh, the money's outside, all right, bet, like, let me go and do my thing, and nobody throws you money. Like, nobody talks about those strippers. That would probably be me, and Lord forbid if that ever happened to me. I don't know what I would do. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from the strippers who don't make that, like, good money, who have those experiences. Not to, like, pick or anything, but to just show people that, yeah, no, this isn't all, like, great things. Like, some people don't make good money doing it. And yeah, no, I feel so bad for them. I always try to, like, give them, like, money, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not breaking my bank for it, but, like, that's not talked about enough.
So right now I am going to do story time. It has been a rough day and I don't really care. I have a sty in my eye and I'm just exhausted. But I was cleaning earlier and I thought of a funny story that I don't think I've ever told anybody. But if you don't know, I was a stripper for 13 years. I did it as a business. It was a lot of fun. For a while, I traveled and made income, and that was interesting too. But anyways, let's cut to the chase. Back in the day, I traveled around the country to dance, and one of the places I chose to go with a group of girls was Denver. Now, Denver's crazy. All the clubs are different. Some you dance up on tables, some you dance on stools, some you dance 3 feet away from the customer, some you gotta wear gown. There's just a ton of different rules, licensing issues in different areas. It's a different place. At the very end of our trip to Denver, we finally went to our last club to audition. And at this club, it was called Penthouse. Penthouse is international. I'm sure some of you know what Penthouse is. I walked in and it was a very basic strip club. The dressing room was disgusting. And of course, there was many different types of women there that I could see all around me from the bar to the stages. We were taken to the back. You give, your license and social. You fill out paperwork. They do like a few questions. There's like a small application and XYZ. So we did all that, and then usually they pull you aside, you do auditions, and then they have, in Denver, it's, I guess it's law, they have to have a male and female in the room. So in Denver, you get off the stage, you go and talk to a male and a female. It was 3 or 4 of us, I believe, and we all went in and auditioned in front of this person and a female. It was, I believe, the bartender. The bartender and them had us do a jump test. That started when I was like 18, 19, 20. All the girls were scared of it, but basically managers and upper supervision said, you jump, and if your body jiggles once you land, you're probably not going to get hired. Anyways, they did the jump test with me. I had never not been hired anywhere. All the other places in Denver were still up in the air, including Shotgun Willie's. They had said, yes, just come back tomorrow. They give you shifts. So anyways, they looked at each other, they pulled everyone aside, and they basically said that because of me, they weren't going to hire the group, that I needed to lose weight, and that I did not pass the jiggle test. And that I was also on a no hire list. In any other state, I would have to go back on audition at the Penthouse in Denver if I wanted to work there. So to this day, I check myself in the mirror by doing a jiggle test, and I would definitely not have been taken off of the no hire list this month.
Okay, story time. So I was a dancer from 19 to 26. I just retired, so I'm out the game now. Yay me. Anyway, I wanted to talk about like some weird things that kind of happen at the white gentleman clubs. Well, when me and my friend were 19, we both started dancing together for our first time, and we were making like a lot of money. And I thought it was just because we were cute girls, but really
It's because some men have a fetish over little girl bodies or just little girls in general. And I remember one time it was about to be Halloween and a customer told me that I should dress up as a baby with my hair and pigtails and a pacifier. He was like, you would make so much money. And I was like, why would a grown man want to see a dancer dressed up as a baby? It just all made sense. And then when you get older and you start to see like a new 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds come in, the same thing happened to them, and just how disgusting it is. But yeah, I have like a lot of stories and experiences I can share, so I might just start doing that.
This rapper came into the club and he has got dances from me and one of my girlfriends before. We go hang out with him and a couple of his homeboys, and we go to dinner and stuff. We hung out for a few hours. He paid us very well. Me and my homegirl go back to the club, right? We clock back in, we're working. These two girls literally come up to us and are screaming at us, trying to fight us, and they're like, I hope you know he don't want anything to do with you. He just wants to get in your pants. You're nothing but a stripper, da-da-da-da-da-da. You da-da-da. I'm like, girl, you're a stripper too. And I don't want to date this guy. I don't want to hook up with this guy. I don't want anything to do with him. I just want his money. Duh.
Okay, so let's have a conversation about this. So no judgment to anybody who's in the industry, thinking about being in the industry, etc. This is simply to just help educate and inform those who are thinking about joining the industry. I have other videos on this same topic. I have videos on bottle girls, videos on dancers, and then videos on sugar babies. So again, it's not personal. We're just simply here to help inform and educate. Also, I will be speaking about things in the spiritual world, like spiritual terms such as low frequency and low vibrational. So if you don't know what that is, you can just Google it, ChatGPT it, to kind of look more into what low vibrational people are and what low vibrational people think. Low vibrational things are. Okay. So, I think that number one, we need to stop judging people for wanting to do better. The girl who was talking about how, she used to be in the night industry, but she isn't any longer, and people judge her and say she'll never get married and she'll never do all these things. Like, let's normalize that everybody make mistakes. Let's normalize that everybody has sinned, okay? And let's normalize it's okay to want and do better for yourself. Like, these low vibrational, like, content creators and people who, like, try to belittle people for making mistakes in their life, and they act like they be wanting them to, like, stay in that, like, frequency. And it's like, the whole point of us being here is for us to learn, grow, and evolve and help others evolve. So what is wrong with people wanting to do better for themselves? Like, it's crazy how girls get a lot of backlash, but men who, like, go out and do the same thing or, like, even worse, don't get the same backlash. Like, men in the streets, who are harming their communities, who are creating broken homes, I don't feel like they get the same type of backlash as, like, women do. That's just my opinion. I know it's like a gender thing, and it seems to even be like a gender war nowadays, which I'm not a fan of, because I feel like we both need each other. But I'm just like, we just got to stop the judgment. If you're not coming up with any solutions, I don't know what the point of just bashing is. Like, where's the solutions? Okay, so I hate that that is what it is nowadays, but to her, I'm glad she's on her spiritual journey. You can't let other people tell you what you are and you aren't going to be doing in your life. A lot of men, I ain't gonna say a lot of men, but the last two dudes that I dated, they definitely wished bad up on me. Like, one of them even said, like, oh, you'll never find a good man, and did, and married him. You know what I mean? All less within a year. So it's like, you can't really let people dictate what you're going to be doing and what you're meant for in your life. And it's so funny because I even said after that, I was like, okay, you're not God. You can't tell me what I'm going to have in my life, and then a month later, I met my now husband. So you can't let people dictate that and let people, with their low frequencies and their insecurities, push that up on you. That's a them problem, not a you problem. Okay. To the girl who was talking about, like, dancers will attract, like, people like PIMPs and all that. Like, yeah, you're in a low vibrational industry, okay? Doesn't mean you're low vibrational, but you have to realize that's the devil's playground. So a lot of people in that industry are low vibrational. They are fighting real deal demonic entities, spirits, etc. So when you're in that industry, you're going to be around that. And unfortunately, you might attract those kind of people a lot. So it's important, in my opinion, to pray over where you go. Like, pray before you leave the house, pray before you come back in the house, because you don't want to bring any type of energies or entities within your house, in your household, okay? So it's not surprising to me that, the woman who was like, they want us to me to dance like a schoolgirl, a younger girl, because a lot of men are attracted to those type of bodies. Yeah, those kind of men are dealing with demonic energies of like, lust and perversion. It's not surprising at all. Again, it's a playground of like demonic entities. Okay, they're everywhere there. I'm not surprised. The first story where the girl was talking about how she saw a demonic face, that's not the first time I heard that. Like, I've heard that more than once, that people have seen entities and faces within those environments, okay? Because, again, that's the playground for it, So, y'all, just be careful out here. Be careful. To the woman, like, especially that woman who was going out and intentionally, like, hurting men because somebody gave her something she couldn't get rid of. Unfortunately, that's common nowadays. I'm seeing more and more of those stories from both men and women. So be careful, y'all. Be careful. Protect yourself. Definitely, I would say, if you are going to do this, have a buddy with you. Never go nowhere by yourself. Have a buddy with you every time. And be careful, So let me know what y'all think. And if y'all have any tips, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I will see y'all in the next one.